Matched up with House, you've got to understand he is going to be in your space all night long. He's active with the ball in front. He's tremendous in passing lanes.
And an open three for Funk and a 5-0 start for Utah State. House again trying for Alec. That's going to stay with the Lobos. The Lobos lost 3 really tight games, 2 buzzer beaters. Otherwise, they might be in that last 4-in group right now.
They were in that conversation up until about a week and a half ago. But this is a talented team. I could definitely see them making a run to the title game, even winning it. That's how good they are.
It's a double dribble.
Udeze didn't agree with the call, but not going to get anywhere arguing with the officials 2 minutes into the game. He's been a tremendous impact transfer from Wichita State. This trio, you could make a case for them being the best trio on the West Coast, the way they all score it.
Funk, remember, New Mexico played yesterday, beat Wyoming, and Utah State, as the 3 seed, had the day off. Funk went down on that cut. He appears to be okay. Taylor Funk, the grad transfer from St. Joe's. A lot of transfer portal talent out here, especially for New Mexico. Ashburn feeds Udeze.
What a finish.
Lobos on the board. Shoga in tight. Bairstow in trouble. 14 to shoot. Boy, House really trying to deny Ashworth. Funk another 3. You can't leave him open. He is a 3-point specialist at times. He's hit 73 of them this year, and close to 40%.
Well, a lot of times when you're a transfer, you kind of feel your way out. He was a big-time scorer at St. Joe's. He's fit in seamlessly for Utah State, 13 points a game on the year, and he has been a terrific add.
House with the miss. New Mexico's 1 of 4 from the field. Ashworth thought about the 3. Funk, shot fake, drives, and is clobbered. Udeze blasted it.
You know, if there's one thing that Taylor Funk could have added to his game over the course of his college career, it would have been the ability to get the free throw line a little bit more. Coming into tonight's game has only taken 41 free throw attempts, where he's shot 90%. But when you shoot it the way he does and you're creative, you have got to be able to find your ways to create extra opportunities at the line.
Yeah, I mean, look, Funk is a guy, and here's another guy that's a key. Dan Akin. He played at UMBC for Ryan Odom, and of course, when Odom was at UMBC, they had the biggest upset in NCAA tournament history. They took down Virginia. It was back in 2018. Akin had the first bucket in that game. And he's the last remaining player from UMBC that's still playing college basketball. And that's what he does, and that's the second foul on House.
It'll be interesting to see if Richard Pitino trusts Jalen House with 2.
Akin battling, and so House has to come out of the ball game. And Donovan Dent, who's played some good minutes off the bench, is in for New Mexico. A 10-2 start for Utah State. Funk. Oh, goodness.
Why not? 13 points in the first 4 minutes and change for Mr. Taylor Funk.
Mashburn, there's the jumper and a foul. And he's got a shot at a three-point play. Utah State is one of the best shooting teams in the country from inside the stripe and outside the stripe. And boy, have they shown it early on. Taylor Funk, 3 threes. You're watching Bracket Week from Las Vegas, presented by Kubota. This is player profile. Good time for Taylor Funk. It's been all Funk so far. Dan Dickow.
It's been impressive. 13 points, 4 of 5 from the field already, including 3 threes. He's the only Aggie that's taken a field goal attempt, and rightfully so because he's so hot.
And Ryan Odom has seen this before, even before he was in a Utah State uniform, right, AJ?
That's absolutely right, Rich. It's when Taylor was actually still with St. Joe's and they would scrimmage UMBC that Odom got a good look at Funk, and he would give them a lot of problems in those scrimmages. So when they started those talks about him possibly coming to Utah State with Odom, there was not a second thought as far as what he could contribute to this team, guys.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and those were the secret scrimmages that nobody gets to go to or film or whatever. And he just lit them up.
Coaches are always watching, always evaluating. And with this transfer portal and the movement that there is in this day and age of college basketball, if you're a coach and there's an opportunity to recruit a player that you like, you got to be ready to take advantage.
So I guess the question is, who's going to take the first shot for Utah State other than Funk, who's taken all 5 shots, hit 4 of them, 3 of them threes.
Well, there's a similar performance against against Utah State earlier this year. Will Baker had 22 points to start the game against Utah State.
Funk!
Wow. All right. He's on fire.
Pick your song, right?
Unbelievable start. There's got to be a heat check on the next possession.
Funk's got 16. All 16. Mashburn has got 4 now.
All right, pick and pop and get Funk the ball in space.
Funk. Oh, it's Bairstow. And he missed it. Mashburn. KJ Jenkins is in the game. So is Donovan Dents. Mashburn gets to the rim. Akin the rebound.
Mashburn would love to have that one back, but the patience with the defender on his hip before he exploded to the cup was impressive.
Shulga gets a screen. He has a good mid-range game. Akin, 4 rebounds. But he missed that shot. And here comes Dent. Ashworth picks it loose. Atkins up ahead. Has it. Scores it.
What a luxury to have Akin coming in off the bench, kind of as a energy guy. One of the top players in the country, double-doubles off the bench.
Remember AJ's opening comments about Ryan Odom and Utah State and the momentum they had, the 5 straight wins, the win over Boise State, trying to carry that through here. And it looks like so far they have. No look, Shulga. Akin gets free throws. All right, tournament profile. A couple things here. The net is great, right? No team in the top 30 of the net's ever missed the tournament. Jerry Palm has him in as the last 4 in that first 4 group. However, and one of the things I had a chance this week to talk to Jerry Palm about Utah State. And one of the things he points out that the team sheets that the selection committee members fill out, the net ranking has to be supported by other data on that team. And the details sometimes matter more than the metrics. And some of those other details that are missing. quad 1 wins, away and neutral, strength of schedule, non-conference strength of schedule. They have some good wins, but they don't have the quad 1 bulk that others do.
They haven't had the opportunity that a power conference team would have as Alec gets free, gets fouled, will go to the line. But, you know, they just picked up their first quad 1 win in the home finish against Boise State. But we get a chance to look at, these are the highest ranked net teams to not make an NCAA tournament. If Utah State were to somehow not make the field, they would be the highest team ever to not make it due to net rankings. I know they say that the eye test isn't part of it, but when you watch Utah State, this is a basketball team that deserves to be in the NCAA tournament. They're that good.
And the funny thing is that while Utah State has the data and they need a few more details, and a win here tonight would be a nice detail, New Mexico has some nice details, but not the data. They have road wins, New Mexico does, at San Diego State and at St. Mary's. Those are both really nice wins.
St. Mary's 10 in the net right now. San Diego State hovering right around the 20 mark.
Funk scores. Funk's got a free throw.
Funk's already got 18 points, looking to increase it to 19. Season high 22 against Santa Clara as well as against San Diego State. He could eclipse that partway through the first half.
He's a unique player. 6'9", 220. He glides. He shoots the three. And he's got 19 points already. Mashburn. Got it. It was a 2. It was just inside the stripe.
He's such a quick decision maker. If you're not up at the point of the screen as the defender guarding the screener, you're too late because he makes his decision and he's got tremendous footwork and pop getting into his jump shot.
Remember, Jalen House has been on the bench with 2 fouls for about 4 or 5 minutes. Bairstow. They come at you in a swarm. They have 5 players that average double figures. Mashburn's putting on a mid-range clinic.
He's doing everything he can to keep this game within striking distance. House with those 2 fouls has put a lot of responsibility on Mashburn's shoulders to keep it close.
He walks. Ashworth was between a pass and a dribble. Well, Utah State out of the gates quickly. Taylor Funk and his band grooving right now in Vegas.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Really nice start for Utah State, a 25-14 lead. Quarterfinal in the Mountain West. Ryan Odom, head coach, moments ago with our A.J. Ross.
Coach, there's only 2 words I can say. Taylor Funk. He has 18 points, inside, outside. He's getting great looks. How much does his versatility open the floor for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, certainly he's hot, obviously, early in this game, but we got to settle in. You know, it's a long game. Learned long ago, early leads never hold. So we've got to make sure that we're playing the right type of basketball. More worried about Mashburn getting downhill on us too much.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, AJ. That was probably his dad that taught him that, right, Dave Odom?
Or the previous game where Boise State got off to a hot start, was up 22, and then UNLV forced overtime. There's something about this Mountain West tournament that no lead is safe.
Funk, who had that really nice game against New Mexico earlier this year. They only played 1 time this year. They didn't play each other twice. It was at Utah State, an 11-point win for the Aggies. Akin rolling. Idle Rock. Missed the three.
Idle Rock didn't make the three, but that's a big-time play from Akin on the roll. Catch in traffic, avoid a charge, and find the open shooter in the corner.
Oh, boy, Alec. House is back in, and he hits a three. Richard Pitino putting House back in with 2 fouls and 11 minutes left in this half.
I like it. You're in a almost must-win situation. You got to roll with your best players. Whether they have 2 early fouls or not, you got to trust him that he's going to make the right decisions.
Mashburn. Shulga handles a lot of the ball handling duties, point guard duties. And a foul on Shulga. Tomorrow, 5 Eastern, the MAC tournament. Bracket week continues from Cleveland. First semifinal, 1 seed Toledo, 5 seed Ohio. Kent State has had such a great season. They're a 2 seed, Akron the 3 seed. That's on CBS Sports Network. Semifinal showdown. Funk is out. Shulga is out. Shulga's got 2 fouls. This is a really good bench, though. Z Hamoda, Dan Akin, and RJ Idlerock in right now. Mashburn. Hamoda with the rebound. He is the first ever NCAA player from Bahrain. That's Alec with the block. And that's hustle to get back down the floor.
Tremendous play from Alec. He doesn't get the credit that the trio of House, Mashburn, and Udeze gets because he doesn't score like they do, but big-time effort, big-time play to come up with the block in transition.
Ashworth hasn't taken a shot yet. Atkins steps through and scores. This guy, a Brit. Udeze up and down. I mean, up and down these 2 teams.
You got to get back in defensive transition. There's no time to jog back, sprint back, protect the rim. We got another good game at the Thomas & Mack.
Lobos on their way back right now. Utah State jumped to an early lead. 8-point lead right now. And you Lobo fans, don't worry. Richard Pitino and the Lobos do have a path to the NCAA tournament because of the stuff that they have on their resume. Win at St. Mary's, that's almost impossible. Win at San Diego State, that's not easy. They beat Boise State. Jerry Palm says must win the Mountain West tournament, but I don't know. I think if they beat Utah State and then they beat Boise State, I think all of a sudden they're in that last 4-in territory.
I agree. I think if they make a run to the title game, there is a chance that they make the tournament. The expectations were set extremely high after starting off 14-0. When you look at the big picture, though, the improvement in 2 years under Pitino has been incredible.
Ashworth, first shot, and down it goes. So House is back in, playing with 2 fouls. Mashburn's gone for 10 on 5 of 9 shooting. And the Lobos have shot it well there, 50%. Udeze going to work. Man, is he good. And he's really improved since stepping on the Albuquerque campus.
That's a great matchup. Akin and Udeze, 2 bigs who aren't afraid of physical play.
Don't leave Ashworth alone.
That is the guy you don't want to leave alone. Yes, Taylor Funk has got hot to start the game, but Ashworth, one of the best in the country at shooting it beyond the arc, 6th in 3-point percentage, and he makes 3 a game.
Udeze. They said Utah State is the hottest team in the Mountain West coming into this tournament, and they're playing like it right now.
Without a doubt they are. Udeze flashing that footwork and the touch with the jump hook, but Ashworth not to be outdone by his teammate Funk. He can get hot in a hurry and stay hot. He's got 3 games this season with 7 or more made threes.
Last 4 games, he's been lights out, 21 a game. Hamoda. Ashworth again. House. Ahead to Dent. Over Dorius. Or excuse me, over Funk.
Great finish by Dent. Funk did everything he could to vertically challenge this shot, but a better finish.
Hamoda is explosive. They're not letting Funk breathe at all. He's 4 of 6 from distance. Dorius. Oh. Was that House?
That was.
Mashburn. Great pace, great tempo. 7.5 left first half. They're still probing, lobbing. Alec again with a great defensive play. House 3.
House just plays with a supreme level of confidence. He's fun to watch because of it. You know, a lot of guys don't have the freedom from their coach to shoot a pull-up 3 in transition like that. He does because he plays so hard on both ends of the floor and he's skilled.
House on the run. Hamoda with the foul.
Bigger is better. That isn't always the case. It's fit.
Still an 11-point lead. Idle Rock. Dorius in trouble, going down. Possession still alive. Clock's at 5. Dorius. And a foul. Dorius. That was not a pretty possession. Let's just put it that way. Timeout on the floor. New Mexico. Big start by Utah State. Aggies up by 11. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Late night in the Mountain West quarterfinals. Late night on the desk in New York. AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Chris Walker, John Rossley. Thanks for staying up with us. They'll get you caught up on all these tournaments, the brackets, teams in, teams out, AT&T at the half. Jerry Palm, now this is to begin the day. Here's where the last 4 have been today, and the first 4 have done. Mississippi State beats Florida, that's good for them. Michigan lost to Rutgers. They'll probably, and I think they have already changed spots in that. Rutgers is now in that last 4-in group. Oklahoma State lost to Texas. That's good news for Utah State. North Carolina lost to Virginia. That's also good news for Utah State. Arizona State, how about that? Beating USC. USC just beat them in a tight game in LA last week.
Yeah, that Pac-12 tournament is just across the strip here in Las Vegas. There's no better place to be than Las Vegas during championship week. Mountain West, the WCC, Pac-12, WAC.
Big West.
Big West.
There are 5 conference tournaments here in Vegas. It seems like every big casino now has their own arena.
Yeah.
And of course, this is on the UNLV campus, the Thomas and Mack. Let's see if New Mexico now can make a run as we get close to halftime. Jalen House back on the bench. Remember, he's playing with 2 fouls. Taylor Funk opens with a hot hand. And he goes down in a heap. Ball's loose. Idle Rock. Akin. Back to 11. Mashburn. Funk has 19 in this game. Ashworth has 11. Akin, of course, is the 6th man of the year in the conference. Turns down the shot, misses the hook, and Dorius lost the rebound to Udeze. It's going to stay with New Mexico.
You can tell it's March with the amount of effort and the bodies flying all over the place. Utah State comes up with that loose ball, resulting in Akin with the flush.
Dent. Udeze. Akin, you could hear the hand hit the ball. And Akin is late getting back down the floor. Idle Rock leans in. Javante Johnson. Udeze. Alec. Free throws. The Lobos start play number 50 in the net. Everyone's going to have to recover. You know, here in Las Vegas, it's popular to buy those hangover pills that help you through a tough morning.
Sure.
I mean, we may all have to dip into that after this Thursday. The semis tomorrow are just terrific. San Diego State, San Jose State. Boise State gets the winner here.
Boise State, Degenhart came up gimpy midway through the second half. It'll be interesting to see how he feels. But you and I both have early flights out of Vegas tomorrow.
Ashworth. That's short. Final 2 minutes, first half. Mashburn. Tipped. And it last touched a Lobo. I think Alec got it. Utah State has won 5 straight. They are number 22 in the net.
Mexico's done a tremendous job on Taylor Funk after that first outburst. Has yet to score after he had 19 early.
Amend that, please.
I will. Nice floater in the lane there. With how hot he was from early, they have been taking away every opportunity. Make them pay with a little lift fake attack into the middle of the paint.
They're daring Udeze to shoot. And that's why. Alec! Possession still on. This is Dent. Delivers. And I think Hamoda got him on the arm. Here's the irony of this game when you think about it for Utah State. What are they in need of? They're in need of quad 1 wins, right? They have a lot of other stuff. As Jerry Palm pointed out, they could use a few more of those details. If they beat New Mexico on a neutral floor, that's a quad 1 win. The problem is New Mexico's 50 in the net. They could fall out of 50. Yes. So it would go from quad 1 win to moments later, quad 2 win.
Interesting how the net rankings adjust throughout the course of the year. And I don't know if that's necessarily fair, because what if a team has injuries and they slide due to losses in the net, but you beat a team at its full potential earlier in the season?
I don't know that the Lobos, if they lose this game, would drop that far. Richard Pitino has no plans to do that. 45 seconds left, first half. Our finale in Vegas tonight. 42-33, 9-point lead. 3 seed Utah State. Mountain West, overtime in 3 of 6 games already in this tournament. San Diego State very easily could have lost that game to Colorado State. Isaiah Stevens had a couple of shots late. Boise State blew a 22-point lead in the first half, and then saw UNLV hit a near impossible 3 to go to overtime.
There's that classic scenario. You're up 3, late clock. Do you foul? Put the other team on the line. Boise State chose not to. Extra possession on the glass gave Noel a chance to knock down a 3. Unbelievable turn of events at the end of that game.
Shulga. Lob. Oh, Akin.
Pinpoint pass.
Look at
Tremendous job from Aiken to go get it.
Look at Ryan Odom drawing that up in the timeout. Ashburn. Rising. Missing. Tip. Idlerock. 2 seconds left. Idlerock half court. Well, it was Taylor Funk that started the whole dance, right? He went for 19 in this first half. Utah State. Shoga to Akin. And a catch and a flush. And Akin off the bench, showing why he's the 6th man of the year. A.J. Ross down below with Ryan Odom.
That's right, Coach Odom. You said you wanted your team to play fearless coming into this one. How would you assess their aggressiveness in the first half here?
Yeah, I think our guys are playing really hard. I mean, both teams obviously have gotten in a bit of foul trouble. They have House with 2 and maybe another guy or 2 as well. We've got several. We've got 1 with 3. All right, so it's a tough game right now. We're both trying to just get through that first half, and now we can regroup and see what we can do in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
All right, A.J. Taylor Funk, 21 at the half. And a big lead for Utah State. After the break, Adam and the gang in New York. Last game of the night in Vegas. You're watching the Mountain West Tournament quarterfinals. Last quarterfinal of the night in Las Vegas in the Mountain West. And Utah State, a quick start. A lot of threes. Taylor Funk hit 4 of those 7 threes. And they have an 11-point lead. Rich Waltz along with Dan Dickow. A.J. Ross will join us shortly. This is a Utah State that looks like the hottest team in the Mountain West, which they are. They won 5 in a row coming in.
Yeah, that 5 in a row obviously is important, but the way they were playing is equally important because their season, hate to say it, kind of hangs in the balance of how they perform in Las Vegas in the conference tournament. And I tell you what, their 2 leading scorers absolutely came to play. Taylor Funk started the game on a 16-point run all by himself. Then leading scorer Stephen Ashworth got in on the party, 11 points, including 3 from beyond the arc.
Best shooting team in the Mountain West, one of the best in the country. And don't forget Dan Akin, the 6th man of the year in the Mountain West. He had some key points and rebounds, and he's been terrific all year. A.J. Ross down below. A.J.?
Well, Rich, I can tell you, Coach Richard Pitino told me that their team needs to get more pressure on this Utah State team. They knew coming in what kind of offense they were facing on defense. They have to make them more uncomfortable. When I asked him about putting up more points with his team, he says he plans to let Jalen House loose in these last 20 minutes. Of course, foul trouble hurt with House earlier in the first half, but they're going to let him go in the second one, guys.
Thank you, A.J. This has been a terrific day. 2 overtime games, 3 nail-biters. This is a fun one. And the common thread has been A.J. Ross. She has been here for the entire quarterfinal round. House.
He said he was going to let him loose right off the top, mid-pick and roll. Creates an opportunity, knocks it down.
Cuts the lead to single digits. And remember our first game here tonight. Boise State was up by 22. Seemingly on their way to a win, lost that lead. UNLV came back, tied it, sent the game to overtime, where Boise State won it. Mashburn. Ball out of bounds, Utah State ball. This has been a wonderful crowd as well. Here's a look at House.
Well, he's got great timing as he sets up going into that pick and roll. A lot of times guards will go too soon. So the big has to get out. That time goes at the exact right moment, creates the space with his quickness and knocks it down.
House on Ashworth. House had 2 fouls early in that half, came back out. Bairstow.
Good defense there from Ashburn. Bairstow wanted to take advantage of the size differential there, but Ashburn, a nice job of using his leverage.
Johnson's pass. Dorius closes. Nice step through by Shulga.
That's not every day if you're a Utah State Aggie fan that you see Dorius get into the passing lane and push it in transition, but you got to like the outcome and the results.
Udeze. Dorius fouled him. If you're New Mexico, you need Mashburn, you need House, you need Udeze to get it in gear. Dorius is second.
Normally Dorius doesn't leave the paint defensively as a rim protector, paint protector, but that time made a break on it, came up with a steal, gets it up ahead to Shulga. That's a big man's dream. Get out in passing lanes and push it in transition.
Udeze now with 11. 8 years at Minnesota, 2 NCAA tournaments there. Won the NIT as well. Patino in his second year, one of the biggest turnarounds in the country. I mean, last year they were 13 and 19. They were 5 and 12 in the conference. House, the thief.
Wow, the quickness.
The bucket. And the Lobos seem energized. Shulga driving. And a foul, Mashburn.
Oh, wow. I thought that would have gone the other way, but the anticipation and the quickness from House, impressive.
I mean, the acceleration, he was not out in front of everybody when he stole that ball. He was moving the other direction.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy that you have to be careful with, whether you're dribbling it or passing around him.
My goodness. Taylor Funk. Alec with a drive and an answer from New Mexico.
Alec's been quiet throughout most of the night, but he does so much of the dirty work that enables House and Mashburn to be as successful as they are.
Dorius gets the feed, misses with the left hand.
Probably the third opportunity at the rim where Dorius couldn't complete the play.
Mashburn, no. Udeze, no. And I think the ball went out of bounds off of a Utah State player. Let's watch the sequence again. Udeze.
A little bit of a power outage from Udeze.
That was an easy block for Akin, who's in the game. Bairstow. Against House, offensive foul.
That's just tremendous defense, heart, anticipation from House. When you're a pest like that defensively, you can frustrate an opposing perimeter who's not used to posting up into trying to play that bang type of post-up game. Bairstow goes for the second hit. House reads it perfectly to draw the charge.
Ryan Odom still has his arms upright. And New Mexico feels like that run they're on should continue. Mashburn, jumper, and it does continue. The lead's down to 6. Biggest lead was 13.
We get the feeling that we've got another game going down to the wire. It'll be par for the course in the Mountain West quarterfinals.
Funk. Floater. And a foul. Udeze. This crowd is just deafening right now. There's a huge contingent here from New Mexico and a really large one from Utah State. And they've both been vocal.
Mashburn is what a lot of people would consider an undersized two-guard, but he doesn't use that as an excuse. He does a tremendous job of attacking at angles. He's got great footwork. He creates just enough space then to be able to elevate high enough to get his jump shot off. I think he's a terrific scorer at the college level.
Funk is sitting on 24. And 25. Lead back to 7. There's a ton of time. I mean, a ton of time left in this game.
So the pace that these two teams play at provides lots of possession.
Mashburn. Alec is a good defender. He can defend a variety of players. He's chasing Funk around right now. Ashworth. Shoulder kicks. Idle rock. Ball fake. Three-pointer. Got it.
Wow. Kept that left foot down just enough for House to fly by.
Look at Ashworth on the floor. Shoulder. Idle rock blocked. Wow.
There is no quit in either of these two teams.
This is a marvelous time in Las Vegas today and tonight. Stephen Ashworth, toe on the ground. 3 in the net. 10-point lead. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. CBS Sports celebrates Women's History Month, recognizing the outstanding contributions of women and girls and the contributions they've made on and off the field of play. 53-43. How good has the Mountain West been this year? This good. 5th best in the country. Best on the West Coast. And this tournament, this day, this quarterfinal day, is a great illustration of that.
Yeah, every game has been close. Every game has been tight. You know, and you also look at a couple teams had disappointing seasons because of injuries, namely Wyoming. They were preseason top 2, preseason player of the year in Graham Ike. Had they not had to deal with injuries, they would have had a successful season as well. So lots of talent and lots of productive seasons by teams across the board.
Shulga, late clock 3. Colorado State had some injuries too this year that kind of knocked them off the pedestal where they were last year. House on the run. Ball's loose. Race for it. Idle Rock has it. Idle Rock finishes.
Patino arguing for a foul, but more importantly for New Mexico, terrible defensive transition balance. When a point guard like House drives for a layup opportunity, somebody's got to rotate back for spacing and be able to take away run-out opportunities like that.
Great defense, great denial. And just when it felt like New Mexico was going to make a run and get a little closer, Utah State comes out and on a 6-0 run stretches the lead back to double digits. Ashworth waiting. House closing out. Kept his dribble, no walk. And a foul there. Coach Patino wants a walk.
So here's an example of nobody back in defensive transition. So House took the layup. Mashburn, as he sees he's going, has to work himself up out of the corners, as does Johnson. They don't, leading to 2 Utah State Aggies in a run out.
Funk having the, I want to say it's the game of his life, but he had some huge games at St. Joe's. Alec picks up his second. Funk gets 2 shots. 25 in the game, 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. You heard AJ's report from the first half. The secret scrimmages between UMBC, coached by Ryan Odom, and St. Joe's, who had a lanky three-point shooter, Taylor Funk. And Funk used to light those scrimmages up. Ryan Odom never forgot it. Opportunity transfer portal. Funk liked the style of UMBC, liked the style, and said, I'm on my way to Logan, Utah. KJ Jenkins in the game for New Mexico. This is House. And House gets it up and in. And a foul and a free throw. He's fearless, man. Both he and Mashburn are just absolutely fearless.
Without a doubt. And the contact that he created shows you that he does not have any regard for the fact that Aiken outweighs him by probably a good 50 pounds. But that's a lot how his dad, Eddie, played at Arizona State. Wiry, strong, just needed an opening to get his jump shot off. One of the best scorers in Pac-10 recent history.
Ashworth on the run. Ashworth, a reverse layup. He's got 16. Jenkins. Alec is fouled.
Ashworth plays with just such a calming presence out on the court. Probes off of turning the corner with that pick and roll action. Protects it from the converging defender. And then the spin off the glass. And he gets so much acclaim for being a shooter, which he should. But he's developed a really nice all-around game.
Jenkins. Alec. Stolen. Shulga streaks loose. Steps through. Missed the layup. Followed. Bairstow. Timeout, New Mexico. The Aggies, the hottest team in the Mountain West, playing like it. Their fans are here. Jerry Palm. This is a good team. Watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Utah State a 61-45 lead. Kind of an up and down year for Utah State. First 9 games, really good. Next 17 games, some injuries. Ryland Jones they lost. But man, their last 5, they've been outstanding. And of course, the win over Boise State was big. They're smacking New Mexico right now. And I'd love to take that momentum into a rematch against Boise State in the semifinals tomorrow night.
I like the way they play. As a former player myself who really gravitated towards offensive execution and freedom on that end of the floor, how Utah State played is really something that I like to watch.
Hamoda just picked up his 4th personal. But remember, I mean, this is a Utah State program that has been to 3 of the last 4 NCAA tournaments. And I'm counting the COVID year because, remember, they played the tournament early that year and they won that tournament.
Yeah.
So they qualified for the tourney. Mashburn with a jumper, baseline, snaps that 12-2 run.
Picking up the pressure now, full court. I like the decision from Richard Pitino. He's got long-rangey athletes. See if they can't create a little bit of confusion for Utah State on that end of the floor.
Ashworth flashes. Shulga. Got to get a shot up. It's blocked. That was Dent. And a foul And we check in with A.J. Ross. A.J.?
Rich, I can tell you during that last timeout, Coach Pitino was stressing they have to get back and play better transition defense. On the other side of the ball, he was telling them to stay paced. They have to take this one possession at a time and climb back into this one, guys.
A.J., have you taken this one quarterfinal at a time? I mean, this is your 4th game of the day.
Yes, it's a marathon, not a sprint, guys.
And you've done a fabulous job of keeping that energy up. Mashburn misses. House. Ball's knocked out of bounds. And our production unit here, we've got Ken Mack as our producer, Mike Arnold, our director, and our technicians, tape, audio, engineers, support team, camera people, the women and men here at CBS Sports have been outstanding all day long. Semifinals tomorrow night, CBS Sports Network. The championship game on CBS with Kevin Harlan and Dan Bonner on Saturday. Akin backs in. Ashworth. Another ball fake. That's a foul. And that's 3 free throws. And that's House with the foul. That's his 3rd. 61-47. Utah State. Make sure you tune into the 2023 Reese's College All-Star Game. CBS Sports Network. It's presented by Walmart. It's from the Final Four, March 31st, 4:30 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. Reese's, the official snack of the broadcast crew here in the final game of the Mountain West quarterfinal.
In between.
Yes. It was a very good timing for this sponsorship.
Well, the one nice thing is this game's going late here in Las Vegas. This city never sleeps, so we will be able to find a meal afterwards.
Remember the last time you said that to me, and I won't name the establishment that had a drive-through open.
But that's part of the problem when it's a drive-through establishment.
It did not work out. That was you and I earlier this season. Ashworth, free throw, missed it. You know, when Ashworth was a high school player, he won a state championship at Lone Peak High School. Every now and then he'd come to Logan and play pickup, and the guy that always chose him on his team, Sam Merrill. And for Ashworth, that was huge. Merrill was a guy he always admired. And of course, Merrill, who had the great shot, one of the greatest shots in Mountain West Conference history to win the tournament, now is back in the NBA. I think he just got called up on a 10-day contract as a championship ring with Milwaukee. That was the idol for Ashworth, was Sam Merrill. So when he picked him, he kept picking him on his pickup team. It was like, well, there was no doubt he was coming to Utah State.
Sometimes players are better recruiters than coaches, in all honesty. But, you know, Sam Merrill proved that you don't have to be the tallest, the quickest, the strongest, but you have to be skilled and a desire to know how to play the game.
How about that? Mashburn was fouled. And you count the bucket.
There is no quit in Jamal Mashburn Jr. There's no quit in Jalen House. I would not be surprised to see them put together a little run. Maybe expect three-quarter court, full court pressure here of some sort.
And there's I've said it before, this second half seems to be taking forever. There's a bunch of time left, 11 and a half minutes left. Donovan Dent on Shulga. Funk. Oh, Lord. Wow. Oh, man, this guy.
What's his career high?
36 at St. Joe's. This is a career high at Utah State. He's got 30 in this game. Alec. A 14-point lead. Funk is 9 of 13.
Expect more actions where Funk's in pick and pop situations, or maybe the lift guy into space and pick and rolls, because you've got to keep finding him. He's been terrific.
Bairstow, Akin. An offensive rebound leads to another Aggie bucket.
As good as Funk has been on the offensive end of the floor, great possession there to get back and build a wall against House in transition, because he can create something out of nothing when he pushes it.
Nice bucket there by Donovan Dent. One number that has to make Ryan Odom really happy right now is the assist percentage tonight for Utah State. They have 16 assists to go with 24 buckets. They're one of the best in the country at that, and that coaches really dig that. That's one of the metrics they love, and that's the assist percentage. How many of your buckets have an assist attached? They average 60%. They're first in the Mountain West, 19th in the country.
Well, it's something that they stress in the fall in their individual and group workouts. So Shoga knocks down another three. That was assisted, but they emphasize it in workouts. And then when you get to the team setting and practices, the actions that they play with make it so difficult for the opponent to guard. And on top of that, there's great spacing and stress points of creating for others.
Ashworth back to Akin, and House, and the foul is on Ashworth. House is just relentless defensively.
He doesn't give up on that end of the floor. It's unbelievable, his effort on that end of the floor. Here's a great example. You set your defender up, come back for the handoff, and you're ready on the catch. Ashworth looked as if he tried to sell a foul at first, but then House ran through the play. Let's just call it blowing up the play, where you just run through to make sure they can't get that dribble handoff action.
Ashworth has 4 personals, and that's this. I mean, it's now, right now for New Mexico. Right now is their chance. Ashworth's on the bench. It's 71-54. Idle Rock is in.
With those 4 fouls now, with no true point guard for Utah State, and Ashworth has taken over that role with Rylan Jones being out for the season. You're putting a lot of responsibility on Idle Rock, Shoga's shoulders, and on occasion Bairstow. They can make occasional point guard plays or entries into the offense, but Ashworth has had the bulk of the responsibility throughout the season once Jones has been out.
Akin misses the free throw. Ashworth, 18 points, 4 fouls, 5 assists. You see the foul trouble. Udeze now has 4 for New Mexico, and he's on the bench. Ashburn with 17. House has 11. Udeze has a dozen. Alec in, fouled, a bucket and a free throw.
Alec simply used his strength to get where he wanted. Bairstow tried to be vertical and kind of just stay out of the way. Alec creates the contact, finishes it, chance of the three-point play, but unbelievable strength there.
That's Bairstow's 4th. So all of a sudden, what seems like a comfortable lead is a little bit uneasy. With 9 minutes left, you've got a New Mexico team that can score quickly and score in bunches, and you've got some key Aggies on the bench.
And Hamoda comes in for Bairstow. He has 4 fouls as well. I'll be curious to see just how long Coach Odom decides to go with Ashworth on the floor. Many times you got to trust your best players to play with foul trouble.
Hamoda handling. This is where Max Shulga is so important to Utah State. He can handle. He can shoot. Shulga.
Recognize the mistake the defense makes. He goes under, stop behind, let it fly.
Johnson. Javonte Johnson with a 3. His first shot of the game.
With Ashworth out, New Mexico has tried to pick up their pressure in the backcourt. Good decision.
Idle Rock Hamoda takes a long 3, and it bangs out. KJ Jenkins, Dent. Alec Idle Rock fouled him. It's a 15-point game. 8 minutes left.
Interesting, Utah State. Ashworth was about to sub in, but because that foul was so close to the media timeout, 8 minutes, 3 seconds, the first whistle after the 8-minute mark will be an automatic media timeout. Utah State staff decided to bring him back to the bench.
Jalen House, he has 3 fouls. And Alec cuts the lead to 14.
Here's that full court pressure.
Funk has had the big night. He's got 30. One more. Nope. Short on the 3. Hamoda, his foot was on the baseline when he took off. And the under 8 timeouts. 3-seed Utah with 4 fouls and 18 points back in for Utah State.
And part of the reason is you got to trust him defensively to be smart. Stay out of situations where you can pick up the 5th, but you need somebody to be able to control and manage the game on the offensive end of the floor. There's still 7 minutes left. A lot of time. You got to have good offensive possessions.
Shot clock violation. Ashworth trying to get it to Akin. And if you're New Mexico, feels like you've got an opportunity here. Richard Pitino and the Lobos are down 12. Foul trouble for Utah State. Big crowd rising to their feet. Coming from the land of enchantment. Alec, the dunk.
Oh, the fine from Mashburn, but the patience from Alec to feel the defense converging. Let them fly by. Finish with patience.
Timeout. Utah State. 10-point ball game. And Josiah Alec with Udeze on the bench has really played well.
He's another one of those transfers that many times as fans go searching in the transfer portal, finding out who's available and who's not, many times they look at points or they look at rebounds. They don't look at fit. Well, Richard Pitino deserves a lot of credit because he went out and found Josiah Alec as well as Udeze to pair extremely well with his great backcourt of House and Mashburn.
And you see Alec in the middle of that huddle. He's got quad 1 hair. Right? I mean,
I would say so.
I mean, you had quad 1 hair when you played in the NBA and at Gonzaga. I have, like, I'm the quad 3 hair at this point. I need to schedule better.
Well, I've got a little bit of gray popping through. If you ask my kids, I've got a lot of gray popping in now, but that being said.
So this guy played, Dan Dickow played and always had great hair and owns a string of barbershops in Spokane.
It's an oddity, that's for sure.
I always found that ironic. Funk. Good job by Johnson defensively. And here's Akin and a foul before that. By the way, we were away at commercial and New Mexico had 61 points, and when we came back, they had 60. It's because they went and looked at the Johnson jumper, and his foot was on the line, so they changed it to a 2. Alec now has 3 fouls. Do you ever go get a haircut at your barbershops?
Without a doubt. I got one the day before coming down here. So Tuesday, I got a quick trim in Spokane at the barbers.
And I'm sure you're a good tipper.
Yes.
10-point game, 6.5 left. Ashburn. I would not want to have to guard him because it's almost impossible. Falling away, short. Good job by Eilerrock, who's a big guard. Dent and Johnson and a bucket and single digits.
Well, the pressure of New Mexico has caused fits. Surprised Ashworth is back on the bench. They need his calming presence out there, getting them into offense.
Maybe they're waiting for the under 4 timeout. Shoga. Shot clock's down. Offense has grown stagnant. Akin is open for the dunk. Nice find by Eilerrock. And no backside help for New Mexico.
Exactly right. No help to be found. Akin wide open in the middle of the key.
Johnson, line drive 3. Look at Alec tip it back out. That's a great play. Jenkins rises. Oh, in and out. And the tip will stay with New Mexico. 20 to shoot, 5 to play. Last quarterfinal in the Mountain West.
About as close as you can get to 2 points without actually getting 2 points.
Johnson driving hard. Both tipped. Utah State. Funk. See Ryan Odom trying to slow things down. Shoga. It's hard to slow it down against New Mexico. They'll stir you up. Shoga's fouled.
Shows you the value of a point guard on the floor in these situations, that can be a calming presence out there. Max Shoga, when the defensive pressure climbed into him there, he wasn't able to get Utah State organized. He was simply trying to protect the ball and not allow it to get stolen.
Biggest lead was 18 by Utah State. New Mexico got within 6. Shoga from Ukraine. It's something that the team, the coaching staff, the community, they've all gotten behind this young man whose family is still in Ukraine. He's leaned on his teammates, on his coaches. Udeze's back in with 4 fouls. Alec, some really good minutes from the senior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Foul trouble, everyone's there. Let's see if House has returned. Ignites them. Dent.
Nice
Udeze, that's a really nice find by Donovan Dent. Ashworth still on the bench. Shoga. And House gets the foul.
Wow, I don't know about that one.
That's his 4th.
There's been possessions throughout this game where there's been more contact than that. House, a nice job of getting under the first one. That's almost just let it go.
Shoga's free throw. Lead at 11. Well, Utah State can afford to have Ashworth on the bench right now. I don't know that New Mexico can afford to have House on the bench with 4 fouls. He's still in there. They need everything they got right now. Mashburn turns the corner. Falling away. Missed it. Dorius the rebound. We're under 4 minutes in the final quarterfinal in the Mountain West, and what's been a spectacular, and I mean spectacular day of basketball. 2 overtime games. Another near upset nail biter. San Diego State outlasting Isaiah Stevens in Colorado State. Shulga in deep. Funk a 3. He missed it. Hamoda has the rebound. Fresh 20 on the clock.
You're Utah State. Make sure you get enough time off that clock and don't rush anything.
Last call for the Lobos. Do they have a run in them? 81-69. Utah State.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness. Reach new heights.
We opened our session tonight, and this game in particular, pointing out that Jerry Palm has Utah State as one of the last 4 in the tournament right now. And we said this is like a game at the first 4 in Dayton, where they have to win to advance to the tournament. And so far, Utah State is fulfilling that. Is it enough to keep them in if they go on to lose, say, against Boise State? That's a big question. But look, New Mexico's 50 in the net. They're a good team. And Ryan Odom has come out along with Taylor Funk, Stephen Ashworth. And they've got a double-digit lead late here. Ashworth plants 3. Short. Udeze the rebound. Go time for the Lobos, and they need to go quickly. Udeze's fouled. I think it was Akin. 3 minutes left.
Stay on the theme that you mentioned. I think Utah State's in. If they hold on and win tonight, it would be 25-7. As mentioned, you know, their net is 22. If the season were truly to end right now and the selections committee would see them at 22 and not include them in the tournament, they would be the highest rated team ever by 11 spots to not make the tournament based off of their net ranking. So I think they're in.
The details have to match the data, and for Utah State, they're lacking in that quad 1 category, but this is a really nice win against a team that's 50 in the net on a neutral floor. That qualifies as quad 1, but by beating this team, they'll probably fall lower down to the right.
Whatever happened to watching a team and saying, hey, they're a good team, I think they should be in the tournament.
Bairstow fouled, bucket, free throws. I know older brother Cam still has his allegiance to New Mexico, but he's got to be pretty proud of his youngest brother. Sean Bairstow. And Bairstow is a warrior. He's averaged over 36 minutes a game over the last 2 months of the season. It's a lot of minutes.
He's one of those guys that doesn't get a lot of credit. And Ashworth gets a fair share, and rightfully so. Funk, Akin, but Bairstow quietly goes about doing his job night in, night out, makes things easier for others.
Mashburn misses. Bairstow has the rebound. Approaching 2 minutes left. 13-point lead. Ashworth Ashworth kicks. Shot clock down. Bairstow gets it off in time. Missed it. Tip. Foul. Dorius. And of course, the semifinals tomorrow night coming up here on CBS Sports Network from the Mountain West. Road to the Final Four follows us. Thanks for staying up with us back in New York. A lot to talk about. All the tournaments just here in Las Vegas would make a really nice show. But of course, across the country in the Big Ten, and the SEC, and the ACC, Big East, American, and in the Mountain West, the team in Utah State that certainly looks tournament worthy. Udeze hits a free throw. And they'll get a chance tomorrow night to take on a quad one opponent on a neutral floor in Boise State. If they can keep this lead. 2 minutes left to play. House against Ashworth. Missed the three. Tip is out. Dent is in. Layup. Yes, it drops. Timeout. Lobos. The lead is 10. Not easy, but not impossible.
Oh, but with the activity that and the pressure that New Mexico can apply in the full court, I would expect to see them pressure 94 feet, do as good a job as they can of keeping the ball out of Ashworth's hands, because when he brings it up against the pressure, they're able to flow into their offense easily. When one of the other ball handlers has had to bring it up the floor, there hasn't been a smoothness to it. So look for New Mexico to really pressure, deny Ashworth the ball, maybe gamble. If they don't get a quick turnover, it'll be interesting to see if they foul or if they play one more possession out defensively straight.
Jalen House on the bench right now, 11 points, 4 of 11 from the field. He's got 4 fouls. Funk. Ashworth spins out of trouble. Mashburn fouls him. Mashburn's got 2. Frustrating night for Richard Pitino. Ashworth, the best free throw shooter in the conference. I have a feeling Ashworth's one of those kids growing up who was good at everything he did, whether it was ping pong or basketball or football or whatever he played.
Well, he's got tremendous hand-eye coordination, and so many fans in particular say guys are athletic based off of how fast they can run or how high they can jump. You forget that balance, coordination, hand-eye coordination, those are all things that are tied into athleticism, and I don't think those get enough accolades or respect as far as attributes for athletes.
Ashworth with the rebound, and he's bumped. Alec gets him, and Ashworth with his 20 points is going back to the line. He plays bigger than his size, if that's a thing.
Yeah, for sure it is. He's not afraid of the moment. He's a competitor. He doesn't use his size or lack of size to be a detriment. He's willing to stick his nose in there, and he's not afraid of contact. A lot of guards that are in high school or middle school that might still be watching this game, you can learn a lot from Stephen Ashworth.
He was really good in the win over Boise State. Of course, that's who they face tomorrow night. He had 19 points, 8 assists, and no turnovers in 39 minutes. Mashburn. Ashworth with the steal. Funk with the toss. Akin to Bairstow. Back to Akin. Goodness. That's worth
point.
That's worth a few data points right there. House hits the three. Ashworth figures if they're not going to foul me, I'm just going to dribble this out. Shoga will wait. And Funk will dunk.
New Mexico booing, but you have to get a shot off in that situation. Otherwise, the shot clock will be a violation.
And New Mexico is not going to guard them. There is 25 on the shot clock, and I think Ashworth is just going to hold the ball at this point.
Udeze told him, don't shoot. I've never understood that. You play the game all the way to the end. You have to get a shot off. Otherwise, you take a turnover. Granted, it's a team one, but play the game to the end, even though you're not trying to show up the opponent.
Shot clock violation. Lobos get the last touch. Utah State, Boise State tomorrow night. Andrew Catalon, Steve Lapis, and A.J. Ross will have it for you here. House going hard. And Utah State, the 3 seed. The hottest team in the Mountain West stays hot. They've won 6 in a row. 25-7. 22 in the net. And on those team sheets, in that selection committee room, this win will help. Is it enough?
It should be. Puts them at 25-7, as we mentioned. 22 in the net.
Well,
but I know they will sleep a lot easier if they can knock off 2-seed Boise tomorrow, which should be a heck of a game.
That's a great game. And San Diego State, San Jose State start things 9:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And you Lobo fans out there, this is one of the biggest turnarounds in college basketball from last year to this year. This program is headed in the right direction.
Terrific hire with Richard Pitino in year 2. They started off 14-0, and I think, to be honest, some expectations got a little too much. But they've made tremendous strides. The future is bright once again in Albuquerque.
Crowd from Logan and all over Utah travel a long way to this tournament, and they are having a great time right now. A.J. Ross is with Taylor Funk. A.J.?
That's right, Taylor Funk, an impressive 32 points tonight. Everything inside, outside St. Just falling for you. At what point did you feel you were in the zone?
Yeah, I mean, it's March, so, anything can happen. Credit to this team, find me at the right spot. We played here a week ago, so it kind of feels like home court. We had to practice here, and, shots were falling inside and out, and, couldn't be more proud of this team, but we got more work to do.
As you talk about this team, I want to note Steven Ashworth also had an impressive game, but most of the shots were made off of some great assists, this ball movement, this unselfish play. When you all play like that, how hard are you to guard?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just this team now. We're so unselfish. It could be anyone's night at any given time. It's just kind of Aggie basketball. We pride ourselves on being unselfish, and we showed that tonight for sure. And, you got to make shots at the end of the day, and we did that.
A lot was also made about you guys needing to win tonight to hear your name possibly on Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
How much was that on your mind?
No, we let a couple games slip. We knew that, but, that's basketball, especially this conference. They're funny for that. This conference is tough. I mean, you see who wins, who loses, and, there's just no off night in this league, and it's just fun. It's fun to play out here for sure.
Congrats on a great win.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, A.J. Great day for you. Good luck tomorrow night in the semifinals. Taylor Funk drops 32 on New Mexico. Semifinals are set tomorrow night on CBS Sports Network. For Dan Dickow, A.J. Ross, our entire crew, great day here and night in Las Vegas. A presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back to Adam and the gang in New York. Good night from Las Vegas.